I'm on Twitter at RealHoneyHaze, and I'm on Instagram at TheHoneyHaze. I'm from Colorado, but I live in Florida now.
Did you go to public school, private school?
Yeah, I went to public school.
In grade school, did you have a favorite subject?
I liked reading. I don't know if that was, I can't
I know you were
remember the
really
subject,
young
but-
at that point. Did you have any idea what you wanted to do with the rest of your life?
I definitely imagined a lot of different things. I wanted to be a vet at one point. I wanted to be, I don't know, I wanted to do a lot of different things. I never imagined myself being a porn star, though.
In high school, were you a popular girl? Were you a loner? Were you a geek? Were you a nerd?
I was really awkward. It took me a long time to grow into myself. I was a bit of an ugly duckling. Yeah.
But were you popular with the boys?
No. Wasn't popular with anyone.
Did you go to high school prom?
Yeah, I did actually. I actually wasn't even in high school at that point, though. I got my GED early, but then I ended up dating a guy who was in the same year as me in high school, so I went with him to what would have been my high school prom, but it technically wasn't because I had already finished or left high school and got my GED. So, but yeah, I did go to prom. It was cool.
In high school, did you send your boyfriend sexy, naughty pictures?
Yeah, he helped me take them.
Do you know if they swore to you they wouldn't show them to any of their friends, but they did anyway?
I always dated pretty, like, I don't know, I gravitate towards, like, the sweet, nerdy type, so they were usually pretty genuine, so I don't think they showed them to other people.
Up to that point, had you seen adult material? Had you seen a movie, a magazine?
Yeah, I've never been, like, huge into porn, but I watched it definitely a bit in high school. Yeah.
When you saw a movie, did the thought ever cross your mind that I could do that?
No.
Just too shy?
No, I don't know, I've never pictured myself as, like, I don't know, I was never hot enough, or I don't know, it just never crossed my mind. It was not even in the realm of possibility of me becoming a porn star. I didn't even really like sex at that point.
Finish high school. Do you go to college? Do you get a job?
Well, like I said, I got my GED early, so I was done with high school early. I went to a community college for a bit, but I realized college just isn't really for me, so I dropped out. And then I was just working like different shitty customer service jobs, and yeah, now I'm here.
How did you make the transition then into the adult industry? Did you answer an ad or something, or do you?
No, I originally started posting on like the Not Safe for Work subreddits, and like right after I turned 18 probably, because my boyfriend at the time, he was really into Reddit, and I got really into Reddit, and I found the Not Safe for Work subreddits, and it's like, oh, I could post something a little risque. So I started with just like a picture of me in like shorts and a bra, not showing my face at all, and slowly escalated to me posting more on those. And then I found out about OnlyFans, so I started trying that, and I still wasn't showing my face for a while. And then I started advertising on Twitter, and a recruiter from my first agency reached out and was like, let's get you shooting. And I was hesitant at first, but he was very persistent, and eventually I decided to try it.
On Reddit, had you ever posted any shots of your boobies or your butt?
Yeah. I posted on Reddit for a while.
For you, when you posted on Reddit, was it a turn on knowing that guys would be checking out your body, or?
Yeah, I just really like the attention, because like most of my life I was like, I don't know, I was just awkward, no one liked me, so having people on Reddit be like, wow, you're so hot, it was just like, it was fun. I liked that.
Did you like having your picture taken too, or is it strictly the attention?
Well, at that point I was still like, I was still kind of like learning to love myself, because you know, I was very picky about what pictures I would post, and I wouldn't put my face in it, and I would like, I don't know, I couldn't have other people take my picture. It had to be like me using like a timer on my camera, because I felt like still very self-conscious about my body, so I had to be with the right angles and stuff. But yeah, I think this industry has helped me grow my self-esteem a lot because I'm a lot more comfortable in front of a camera now.
Before you get in the adult business, then you mentioned OnlyFans and stuff. Were you shooting scenes and stuff in there for your OnlyFans, or were you still just doing like tea stuff?
No, it's just solo stuff. I think I had like, before I got into the industry, I think I had like one video that was like a blowjob video, but it was like POV. So like that was like the only non-solo thing I had on there. Just because I was dating someone for a while and he didn't want to post on OnlyFans, and then once we broke up, I just didn't know who to find to like help me with it. So
You decide to get in the adult business. The agent eventually you can convince you to give it a try. Is there an audition, or just do you go to his office and meet him? How does all that work?
So no, a recruiter for my first agency just reached out to me and was like, let's get you shooting. And I was like, and then he kept like saying like, oh, well, like you can just fly out to, so my first shoot was for Backroom Casting Couch. So they were like, you can just fly out to Arizona for the day and just like, you'll make like this much money, and like, and I was like, oh, maybe. And then he like sent me some references and I talked to them and they're like, yeah, it's cool. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. So literally I just flew out to Arizona one day and did an anal scene for Backroom Casting Couch and flew home, and no one in my family ever knew about it.
So your first scene was an anal scene?
Yeah, it was my first time ever doing anal, actually.
For you, when you're going to the shoot and everything, at what point does it hit you that I'm getting ready to shoot a porn movie?
Yeah, actually, honestly, every day I wake up and I'm shocked by my occupation. Like, there's not a day that goes by where I don't wake up and I'm like, whoa, I do porn. It's pretty crazy. And I still get like nervous the night before I have like like if it's a set that I know well and I know the talent, then I'm not usually nervous. But if it's like a new set and I don't know the talent or something, sometimes I'm nervous the night before.
You are becoming very popular. Why do you think that is?
Well, I got that Gorilla Grip Gucci. It has like very good grip. Also, I take anal really well. I don't know. I guess those are probably some of the reasons why. Oh, and I have nice tits.
Do you remember your response the first time you saw professional nude photos of yourself?
To be honest, I don't think I really liked the first ones I saw. I think it was because like I had just gotten to Florida and my agent at that time wanted me to get pictures up on the website, but I don't know, I think I was rushing and I didn't like shave my legs, and I didn't like, I don't know, I just like wasn't at my best. So the first photos, the first nude photos that I had, I wasn't really a fan of. But yeah, it's hard because like sometimes I see pictures and I'm like, oh, like I don't look good there. I don't like how they did my makeup. I don't like how they did my hair or something like that. But at the same time, there have been a lot of professional photos that I've seen. I'm like, damn, that's pretty fucking cool.
You do your first scene, it goes well. Do you decide at that point that you maybe want to take a career at this, or you take time off before you do another scene and think about it?
Yeah, so my first scene was almost a year ago now. It was at the end of November. And yeah, I was thinking it was just gonna be a one-time thing. I was like, I'm just gonna do 1 or 2 scenes, get the money, and like not do anything else. So I flew out to Arizona for the day. I was like, yeah, it was cool. But then, you know, things were kind of getting busy in my life. I moved to Washington at that point in like December with my best friend at the time. But then like as soon as we moved to Washington, things were like kind of rough because we didn't really know anyone and COVID was happening, so it was hard to meet people. She got codependent and I was like pushing her away. And then so things were like not doing great mentally, and my agent was like, hey, we'll come out to Florida for a couple weeks and we'll get you some more shoots and you can have some more money and it'll be nice to get away from the rain. And I was like, yeah, I could come out to Florida for a couple weeks. And then I went to Florida for a couple weeks and I started shooting a bunch, and I was like, I don't really want to go back to Washington now because it just felt a lot. It helped a lot to just have like a job. Like helped my mental health to like have to get up early in the morning and have to be on time for all these things and give me a responsibility. So it helped a lot.
So at this point, is this a career for you, or is this still you're having fun and it's a job? And
Honestly, I mean, it's definitely a job. Like I don't really know how much longer I'm gonna last in the industry, just because it's a lot. There are a lot of cons to this job, I think. And at the beginning, the pros definitely outweighed the cons. But I think as time goes on, I'm like, it's starting to take more and more of a toll on me, mentally and physically. But I mean, I definitely enjoy it a lot. But it's just it's hard to do this job for a long time, and I'm realizing that. But I do like it. I think it's really fun.
so, do you enjoy sex now more? Because you mentioned earlier that you I guess you really didn't like sex a lot, maybe in high school.
Yeah. Well, I think that was because a lot of the people, when you're young, no one really knows what they're doing. So it wasn't like the best sex because, high school guys don't really care about your pleasure. But I think because I didn't really like it when I was younger, it was already sort of a performance for me. And at first I was pretty insecure about how I looked and stuff, but then I found out how to harness that and use how I looked to my advantage and just put on a good show, because even if I didn't like it, I'd want the other person to think I looked hot doing it.
Do you think fans believe that this is all really real?
Oh yeah, they think that it's just I get a lot of DMs where people are just saying oh, I wish I was I could do what you're doing, you just are constantly having the best sex in the world. Which is not to say that I haven't really enjoyed some of my scenes or some of my content, but it is work. You show up early and you sit for makeup for hours, and then you do paperwork, and then you have to go through all the lines, and you have to not fuck up the acting, and then when you finally do get to the sex, it's actually not the sex isn't as long as the dialogue. It doesn't take nearly as long, and it's and you have to cut in between each position, and all the positions have to be open for the camera, and a lot of times it's sometimes I definitely have to fake my orgasms a lot. Because, a lot of times I'm not in the position where I can, make myself come while we're doing it. So, not to say that I don't enjoy it, because I definitely do. I've definitely done some scenes with some people who are, really good. But, it's not, it's not just, having fun sex. That's not what it is. There's a lot more to it than that.
Having said that, is it hard for you when you go home to have fun sex?
Yeah, I think it's hard to, I don't know, sometimes I think some things one thing that people don't really understand is that since sex is my job, I kind of just I'm not always that in the mood for sex outside of it. And not that I'm not horny, but usually I just masturbate. I don't know, it's I feel yeah, I don't actually want sex that much outside of work, just because I do it so much for work. I do it for content, I do it for scenes, and it's just I don't know. But because here's the thing about this job is I like emotionless sex as much as the next gal, but having so much of it, it really makes you miss real intimacy. So if I were dating someone, not that this job makes it very easy to date, because it doesn't, but if I were dating someone with this job, then I would definitely want to have sex or be with them outside of work. But since I don't really crave sex, because I already have plenty of that. I crave intimacy, and I don't have that, so.
So when you have sex at home, do you do the whole anal thing and all that stuff, or is it strictly for camera?
Oh no, I don't know how people have recreational and spontaneous anal sex. It takes so much prep for me in my mind, because I've only done it for scenes and content, so I prep for it, and like I prepare for it, and I fast and I clean and I like do all these things, and I just can't imagine like, I don't know, it seems like too much effort to like do spontaneously or recreationally in like my personal life.
Is it difficult for you to date a civilian?
It's difficult to date, period, I think. I feel like there are a lot of things about this job that make it hard. First of all, so I feel like no civilian really wants to date a porn star. I know some of them say like, oh yeah, I'd love to date a porn star, but like, I don't know. A lot of people are more monogamous than they want to admit. And then also like dating in the industry sounds easier, but there's like so much drama that comes along with that. Like there are so many crazy exes and like, oh my gosh, it's just like if you break up, then you're still in the same line of work, and it's just like awkward, and there's so much gossip in the industry. It's like a fucking high school. I hate it. So, yeah, it's hard. There aren't, and also I just like travel a lot, so it'd be hard to date. And also I'm just bad at relationships, so it's kind of hard for me to even think about dating. So it kind of sucks, but it's fine.
How much different are you than the person people see on camera? How much of this is an act?
I think Honey is just like a dramatized version of me. I mean, it is like, I don't know, I'm like in my personal life, I am still like Honey. I'm just not as like, I don't know, Honey's more like over the top, I guess, exaggerated. I think you can sometimes tell when I'm really like in my Honey persona, because my voice will go up higher, and I'll be like, oh, like, hi, I'm Honey, Honey Hayes, but like when I'm just being myself, my voice kind of goes back down here. I mean, it like fluctuates. If I'm nervous, my voice goes up too, so it just depends. But I think that's why I started doing that, was because my first scene I was just really nervous, so it just automatically went up, and I was like, oh. Also, my moans are definitely really exaggerated for some scenes, but if you watch like my content on OnlyFans, that's usually a little more genuine, because content is a lot easier to really get into because you have more control over it, I think. Yeah.
Let's talk about your OnlyFans.
Oh yeah. My OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/realhoneyhaze.
And do you shoot boy, girl, everything on there?
Yeah, I think I have boy, girl, I have some girls, I have anal, I have a few like threesome things. Yeah, I have quite a few anal videos on there. Pretty great.
And the stuff you shoot there, is it stuff that you want to shoot or stuff you think your fans want?
Usually when I meet up with someone for content, I kind of just ask what they want to shoot, because I don't know, I'm bad at like thinking of things. So I usually just like, I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And they'll usually lead it. So that works for me.
Do you do custom videos?
I charge a lot for them because it's just like, I don't usually have a lot of time and I honestly don't do custom videos that often. Especially when I get like sometimes like a really specific, like really detailed things that I'm just like, I don't have the time or the means to do that. But I occasionally take customs. It just depends, and I do kind of charge a lot just so I don't have to do them often.
How often do you post?
Multiple times a week. I try to post like every other day or sometimes every day. Just depends on how busy I am. When I'm working a lot, sometimes I don't post quite as often, but I do post a lot more content, I think, because I have like a lot of BTS from the scenes and stuff. But sometimes I miss days just because like I'm working and I'm tired. But yeah.
For you, do you feel your fans come to your OnlyFans and social media stuff too for personality or just to watch you get boned?
I think it's a mix. I think I definitely have a good amount of fans who are there for my personality. Like I have this one fan who would used to just like buy customs of me. They weren't really customs, I guess, but I mean they were for him, but it was just like videos of me just like doing whatever. Like I'd just be chilling, just like talking to him about random stuff, listening to music. It wasn't even like anything sexual, which is pretty crazy that he just wanted to see me being me. It's pretty cool. And then I also do have a good amount of fans who are also just like, more anal videos. I want to see you get fucked in the ass. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'll do that.
And you've touched on it briefly, but for you, what is the reality of this business versus what everybody thinks it is?
See, I don't even know how to like explain it because I feel like no one who's not in the industry doesn't get it, and I feel like I don't know. It's just hard to explain. Like there's so much more to it, so much more bad and good than everyone else thinks. Like I think a lot of the world looks at the porn industry as this really like gross, dirty place, and I mean, I think if you have the right agent and you stick with the right crowd, then it can be very different from that. I've had a lot of very good experiences in porn, but at the same time, I think there are definitely grimy parts of porn that people in the industry don't really like talk about or acknowledge. So I don't know, it's like not as bad as everyone outside the industry thinks it is, but it's not as good as everyone inside the industry thinks it is. If that makes sense at all. But I think it's cool. I think it's wild. It's crazy. I think since I've been in this industry, it's just been like a crazy blur. Like I can't believe it's been almost a year now. It feels like just like it's gone by so slow and fast at the same time.
Sadly, last 6 months or so, we've had some people pass away. And some of it's been attributed to bullying and drugs and everything else. From your own experience, do you feel this industry puts that much pressure on you that you push yourself to that point?
I mean, I dealt with mental health issues when I was younger. I definitely dealt with suicide attempts and stuff in like high school and stuff. So I can understand. I don't think it'll ever push me to that point just because I've really gotten my shit together since high school because I kind of had to. So yeah, I don't. You know, I'm better at dealing with things now. I mean, I definitely like have hard times in this industry sometimes where I'm just like, wow, like I don't know. It can be really hard, like the way it. I don't know, the way it affects your relationship with your family and the way it like, I don't know, you feel so like shut off from the outside world sometimes because like, I think the porn community is so stigmatized that we kind of like keep to ourselves and just keep to other porn people. But it creates this little like bubble which like, if there is toxicity in that, which there is, it just kind of like cycles through and you're just kind of like, oh, this is what the world is like. And then you go and hang out with civilians for a while and you're like, oh, this is not what the world is like. It's interesting.
You mentioned earlier you weren't sure how long you're going to be in the business. Do you already have another idea what you want to do after this?
I've been trying to think about that. It's hard because, you know, after this job, it's like, I don't know what there is to go back to really, because I don't want to, like, after, like, this job, like, how can I go back to, like, making, like, $14 an hour at a fucking fast food place, you know? But, this job just isn't, like, something I can do forever, for sure, and I don't know how much longer I can handle it, so I've been looking at other options. I've been thinking about trade school, honestly, because I don't want to go to college because the way that whole school system is designed just doesn't really work for me. I'm not good with like the memorizing and the tests, but I'm good at like, I'm smart. I'd be better with hands-on stuff, so I think some kind of trade school would be cool. I've been thinking about maybe something to do with animals, like I could be a vet tech or I don't know, something. We'll see. But Yeah, I've been thinking maybe trade school or something. I don't know.
At this point, are you happy where your career is at? I mean, you've blown up. In a year, you've done very well.
Oh, thank you.
Are you surprised? Are you...
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I definitely didn't expect any of this to happen. I think like when I did my first scene, I was like, oh, this is just gonna be a one-time thing. Hopefully my family never finds out. I'm not gonna become big or anything. I don't want to become big. And then that all just like changed so quickly after I came to Florida, and I was like, wait, maybe I kind of do want to like keep doing this and get bigger. And it's been really cool. It's been crazy to go from like, I mean, I was growing into myself already, but like, I don't know, like I still wasn't like, my self-esteem was still so low. So even though I was like, I had grown into myself more, I still felt like that awkward nobody who no one liked. And now I'm like, I don't know, job has just forced me to realize like, it's been like, here, look at this, like people like you, people think you're hot. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. But yeah, yeah, it's cool.
You joke about that, but is it a good thing for you that you've been forced to understand that you are pretty and you're a hot girl? And
Yeah, it's helped my self-esteem a lot, honestly. You know, just like I've never really been comfortable in front of a camera unless I'm the one holding it. You know, I would only take like selfies. I didn't like people taking pictures of me because like I'm like, oh, I don't like seeing my face like that. Like, but now it's like, I don't know, now I can just look at pictures of myself. I'm like, oh, that's me. And I'm not, I don't know. I still have moments of low self-esteem for sure. I still have a long way to go, but I definitely love myself a lot more than I used to, which is pretty cool. It's cool being able to love my body more and love my face more. And I don't know, one thing I've really started to like that I never had happen before, that started to happen is people like compare me to other people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you think I'm as pretty as them? Like yeah, I've had some girls like tell me like, oh, you look like a young this porn star, and I'm like, really? That's so sweet. And I'll like look them up, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Like, I can't believe people think I'm pretty. It's just so cool. I don't know.
You've mentioned it before, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but you're afraid of your family finding out about what you're doing. Do they know now? What's the reaction?
Yeah, so I told them, I'm trying to think how long it's been now. Okay, so they knew that I moved to Washington in December, and then when I moved to Florida, when I came to Florida in February, and I ended up staying there, like they didn't know I was in Florida at all. They thought I was still in Washington. So there was like 2 or 3 months where I was living in Florida and they had no idea. And then I was supposed to come visit Colorado. I was supposed to go visit my family in Colorado for like a week or so. And as I got closer, I just got really panicky about it because I was like, oh, I'm going to be lying to their faces about it. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. So I ended up just calling my mom and I was like, hey, like I'm canceling my flight. I'm not coming for this trip and I need to tell you something. And then I'm going to give you your time to process that and then I'll come visit another time. And actually when I told my family, I didn't know this at the time, but I ended up visiting a couple months after that, and my mom told me that when I first told her about my job, she hired a PI to make sure I wasn't being trafficked, which is fair, I guess, but I don't know, I gave her like I was telling her like everything about the job to make sure she knew I was safe. I was like, you can FaceTime me to see where I am, I'll send you my location, like you can talk to my agent. But she was just really worried about me because, you know. And yeah, they know now. It's been a while since I told them, a few months, several months. It's gotten a lot easier. They had a hard time dealing with it at first. All of them did, but it's better now for the most part, except my grandma doesn't want to see me. I went on a trip recently around the country with a friend, and I stopped in my grandma's hometown, and I was really excited to go because I was going to get to see my grandma, and then my mom was like, hey, your grandma says she doesn't want to see you. And that hurt a lot. I guess I should have seen, I knew that someone in my family was gonna like be unhappy with it or like do something that hurt me, but I didn't think it would be my grandma. I just thought she'll always love me. she won't hold this against me, and it's okay. I know she'll get over it, but it hurts. It hurts a lot for like, I don't know, like once you have that label of one thing. I didn't think the stigma would bother me at all when I first got in. I was like, I don't care what people say, you know? And like, I don't care what people say, but like, I don't know, it feels weird to like constantly have that label of porn star. Like, I don't get to like hang out with people and just be like normal and me. It's like, it always follows me around. When I'm with my family, I'm thinking like, oh, like, I can't believe I'm a porn star. And then when I'm with like, I don't know, like it's just, yeah, it's just, I always have that label now. It's weird.
Your friends you grew up with, do they know? Are they surprised? Are they?
So, to be honest, like, this job has kind of like made it hard to like maintain a lot of my friendships from before porn. I still have like my best friend, not the one I moved to. The one I moved to Washington with, we are not friends anymore because she felt like I abandoned her when I left her in Washington. But my other best friend, she lives in South Dakota. She's very supportive, and she's like my biggest support, honestly. Other than her, like I don't really have a lot of close friends from before porn. I mean, I have some like kind of friends, but not like close ones who I talk to constantly. I do have some friends. I do have a lot of friends in the industry now. My closest friend in the industry lives in Florida, so we hang out a lot. Yeah.